Hey Leo, we're here for your weekly tarot love reading, October 20th through to October 26th. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and of course for any of you lovely cross-watchers dealing with a Leo romantically. Now I do always like to remind you, Leo, general readings may or may not resonate. That's totally okay. You are more than welcome here on my channel to take what works and leave the rest. So we're jumping right into it today, my lovely lions, and we're gonna see what could be coming toward Leo in love this week. First message coming out says, I replay our conversations over and over. Interesting. Somebody's thinking about you, and in particular, they're thinking about the things that they have said to you and the conversations that the two of you have had. Now, usually for me at least, when I'm replaying a conversation over and over, there could be a couple of different reasons, but maybe I'm trying to understand something. So I'm going back and I'm like trying to understand what the other person said. Or sometimes somebody could be replaying conversations because they're like, I don't like how I handled myself in that moment. I don't like what I said in that moment. So there's something here that's causing your person to like go over and over some sort of conversation that happened between the two of you. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Leo this week. I lost myself for a little while. That's definitely interesting, you guys. Look at that. Okay. What I'm getting here is that your person's been going through something. It's a general reading, take it if and how it applies. Now, sometimes what happens, and this is not an excuse, it's just a potential explanation, Leo. Sometimes what happens is when we're going through something, when we do not feel like ourselves, when we're stressed, when we're overwhelmed, when we're burdened by other things going on in our lives, sometimes we don't act like our best selves, okay? And I almost wonder if what happened here is that your person said something that was out of character for them. And now they're thinking about it and they're like, I said something to Leo in the heat of the moment when I was stressed, when I was overwhelmed, and now I regret it. Now I wish I had done things differently. And again, I'm not excusing their behavior here, but I'm just saying like, I'm getting a strong vibe of somebody who like acted out in the moment, didn't act like they normally do, said something that was unexpected, said something that you didn't see coming. And now there's this rift or this issue that potentially exists between the two of you. Now, I do think that your person has regret about that, Leo, but let's see where it goes. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Leo. I wonder if you are happy without me. Very interesting. So this actually feels pretty significant. It almost feels to me like whatever your person said or did, at a minimum, it has led to separation between the two of you. You could be fully broken up with this person due to whatever it is that they said or did, but it could also be that maybe you're not officially like broken up, but maybe you're taking some time apart. Maybe the lines of communication have completely broken down between the two of you right now. Now, the interesting thing here is I get a lot of energy from your person of them longing for you, right? They're replaying things over in their head. They're wondering if you're happy without them. So this does not feel like somebody who has moved on and is not thinking about you. This actually feels like somebody who's like wishing things could be different, longing for the connection between the two of you to come back. So very, very interesting here. What we're gonna do for the rest of the reading for this week is we're gonna look at this person and we're gonna look at you, Leo. So we're gonna look at their overall energy, what they might be feeling, what they might be doing this week. I'll look at the same thing for you, and then we'll look at the potential outcome. So let's just kind of see how this plays out. So tell me about this person who Leo is involved with this week, please. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's a very, very telling card to get as the first card for your person, Leo. We have got the Seven of Swords. This is typically known as the Thief of the Tarot, and it represents heavy energy. There is no way for me to sugarcoat this card, but I think it makes a lot of sense given what we've seen in the overall vibe. So with the Seven of Swords, there could have been things that your person was hiding from you. Now, like I said, we had the message, I lost myself for a little while. So your person could have been going through some stuff, right? Maybe they didn't really talk to you about it. Maybe they didn't really tell you what was going on. And so perhaps they were struggling with something. Perhaps they had some personal issues that they were dealing with. I feel like they didn't give you the full story. I do get the sense that they were hiding something from you, Leo. I don't necessarily feel like it was a super malicious energy, which I know is kind of weird to say because like it's not good when somebody's hiding something from us, but it almost feels like they were so overwhelmed that they're like, I don't even want to involve Leo. I don't even want to talk to Leo about this issue. And sometimes like, I feel it can be the vibe of someone who keeps everything inside. So you might be involved with somebody where whenever challenges come up, that personality, you know, where some people just like don't talk about their issues and they really just internalize everything. That could be a little bit of the vibe for this person. Now, the interesting thing with the Seven of Swords as well is that it is a significant energy associated with self-sabotage. And honestly, I think what is happening here is that your person loves you, but they did something really significant to sabotage the connection between the two of you. Tell me more about this person's energy this week, the Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's like they've been fighting an uphill battle. And I do think that their behavior, honestly, it has tested your relationship. It has put the two of you in a bad position when it comes to your connection because your person has been hiding things and sabotaging things. And now it's like, is it a situation where you're going to fight for the relationship? Are you guys going to walk away? I do feel with the Nine of Wands showing up for your person, it does suggest that there is a desire here for your person to want to fight for the relationship. But I also feel like it's tough because they've hurt you with their behavior. So it's really going to be up to you to decide what you want to do with that. And we'll look at your energy later, Leo. So tell me more about this person's energy, the Four of Swords. They have been doing a lot of reflecting, a lot of thinking about their behavior, going over things in their head, reflecting on the things they said, replaying their conversations over and over. I think at a minimum, like I said, the two of you are taking space right now. Now, the thing that I will say is that even though you might not be talking to your person, you are still very much on their mind, Leo. They're thinking of you all the time, okay? And I really do think that they're reflecting on what they've said, what they've done potentially. I do get a lot of regret. They realize they've messed things up. It is a heavier energy. So let's see what they could be feeling this week. The Queen of Pentacles, okay. It's possible you're dealing with an earth sign, of Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles, in a way, Leo, is an aspirational energy. It's like what your person is trying to attain. I feel like with this showing up in their emotions, they're trying to become more emotionally steady and stable because I do think there has been instability. Like I said, they could have been stressed, they could have been overwhelmed by something going on. I do feel they're trying to ground themselves emotionally with that Queen of Pentacles showing up in their feelings. So I do think they're working on it. Like my sense here, Leo, is that your person messed up, but I do think they're aware of it. And I do think they have regret. And I do think they're trying to fix it. Tell me more about what they could be feeling. The Five of Wands, yeah. So here's the thing, Leo. I think your person's having an internal conflict right now. I think there's two things going on. I think on the one hand, there's a big part of them that wants to approach you and fight for the relationship. And I also feel like there's another conflicting part of them that's like, should I do that? Because I know I've hurt Leo. Would it be better to just walk away? So that Five of Wands can sometimes represent that internal conflict that we can experience in situations. So emotionally, it's like, I think your person's a little bit torn about whether or not they should approach you. Tell me more about what they could be feeling, please. And then the Strength card, wow. So this is Leo energy. It is possible some of you are dealing with a fellow Leo romantically. Here's the thing, Leo. This person obviously still has very, very, very strong feelings for you with this showing up in their feelings. Now, sometimes a Strength card, it can indicate overcoming a challenge in a relationship and coming out stronger on the other end. Okay, so it is possible here that your person is hoping that whatever has happened between the two of you, that there will still be an opportunity for the two of you to work through these issues and strengthen the connection. I think at the end of the day, your person does want to be back with you, okay? I think the question is just like, how does that happen and are you open to it? So let's see what actions they could be taking this week. Okay, first card coming out is the Moon. The Moon tends to represent something hidden. This is showing up in their actions. I'm hoping this indicates that maybe they're going to start to open up this week about the things that have been left unsaid and the things that they have not talked to you about, okay? So maybe they're realizing at a bare minimum, for there to even be a chance for the two of you to be together again, they're going to need to start being very honest about what's going on, what's been happening, why they've been acting the way that they have. I think that's like the bare minimum starting point in order for a potential reconciliation to happen here. Tell me more about what actions they could be taking. The Page of Cups, yeah. Okay, so it's kind of looking like they'll have a bit of an internal battle this week, Leo, where they're like, should I reach out? Should I not reach out to Leo? It does look like they come to the conclusion that they do want to reach out because the Page of Cups, it's water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is the messenger of love. It tends to indicate somebody reaching out and opening up to us emotionally and talking about their feelings. And so I feel like in a way, this is like a positive indicator with the moon and the Page of Cups, that they're going to be taking action to open up emotionally about what's been going on and probably about things that you were not even aware of, right? Tell me more, please, about what actions they could be taking. And then the Seven of Cups, I think they're trying to clear up the confusion. My sense here, Leo, is that there's probably a lot of mystery for you surrounding what exactly has happened here. Like, I think we've all had this at one point or another where our partner is doing something and we're just like very, very confused about what they're doing, why they're doing it, what's happening, what's driving their behavior. And I do think that for this situation, it feels that if you're resonating with this, Leo, you've kind of been left out in the dark, because I do not think your person has done a good job of communicating what the heck has been going on here for them, okay? And so I do see energy of them potentially coming towards you this week and wanting to clear up the confusion and wanting to be more honest with you about what exactly has happened. It's like they're trying to bring clarity to the situation, because like I said, to me, in order for anything to happen, that feels like the starting point. Because I think at a minimum, you need to start to understand, like, why did this person sabotage the connection? Why did they push you away? What was driving that behavior? They need to start with an explanation, and then you guys can go from there and see what you want to do, right? Okay, so that's what I see for your person. Let's look at you. Tell me about Leo's energy for this week. Okay, interesting. The first card coming out is the Hierophant, which indicates stability, tradition, marriage, commitment. I do think that you saw marriage with this person. Some of you may have already, anyway, been married to this person. I do think this is a relationship that you saw the potential with, though. Tell me more about Leo's energy. King of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm also kind of getting the message that there is a discrepancy here between you and your person, potentially in terms of your maturity and readiness for commitment. Okay. So I do think your person loves you, but like I said, I really get the vibe that they've been struggling with something personally and things have been a bit shaky for them in their life, and they've kind of done a shitty job talking to you about it. Your energy right away is showing up very strong, very stable, very grounded. So I feel like there's like a disconnect where maybe even part of what your person did, and I always like to keep saying, I'm not excusing, I'm just explaining, right? Maybe they felt that you were out of their league a little bit. I am kind of intuitively getting that message because your energy is coming through so strong. Your person may have looked at you, Leo, and been like, Leo's in such a great place. Leo's doing amazing. With the King of Pentacles, maybe you're even doing really well in your career. Things are working out for you. Financially, things are good. Things are stable in your life. And if your person had some personal issues that they were dealing with, they may have been like, you know what? I feel like I'm kind of a loser. I feel like I'm not worthy of Leo. And whether it was conscious or unconscious, that may have been part of what pushed you away, like why they pushed you away, right? Tell me more about Leo's energy, please. And then the Five of Pentacles, yeah. It's like you feel you've been completely left out in the cold. This fits with everything I've been saying, Leo, where I'm like, there's just something about the situation where I don't think you have all the information. I do keep wanting to say though, like, and I don't know, like, I feel like it's important to say this wasn't like malicious lying, if that makes sense, right? Like, I don't think they got up and they're like, I'm gonna lie to Leo and string Leo along. It doesn't feel like that. I do think they really love you. I think they just got in a bad situation and they kind of kept it to themselves. That resulted in you experiencing the Five of Pentacles, which is like, I feel totally left out in the cold. I have no idea what this person is thinking, doing, feeling, what they want, right? So the Five of Pentacles represents the disconnect that I think you're experiencing in the connection. What could Leo be feeling? Eight of Pentacles, that's interesting, you guys. Eight of Pentacles is a card of hard work. It kind of suggests that you're open to putting in the emotional effort to see if you could repair this connection. So that says to me, you're not totally closed off to the possibilities with this connection, but let's keep going. Tell me more. The Death card. Okay. So that's actually very significant because the Death card is an ending that leads to a new beginning. I mean, it could indicate that maybe you decide like, you know what, I thought I could work on this with you. I thought I could be open. Turns out I don't want to go there, and you decide to walk away. That would be totally valid. The other way that I could see this going sometimes with the Death card, because it is linked so much to endings that lead to new beginnings, sometimes I see this energy almost as like a complete transformation of a relationship where it's like the old version of the relationship has died, essentially, you know what I mean? Where it's like, you might go to your person and be like, I'm going to give you a chance, but like we're not going back into those old patterns. If we decide to reconnect, if we decide to be together, it's going to have to be a completely transformed version of our relationship, right? So it can kind of go both ways here. And I think from your perspective, both options are on the table. I think you're open to putting in the effort and seeing how it goes, but I also think you will walk away if you don't see the potential. So I think you're kind of 50-50, right? Tell me more about what Leo could be feeling. The Nine of Pentacles, that's actually really good, you guys. Nine of Pentacles is a very self-assured, secure, confident energy. It tells me that whatever decision you make is going to be made from a place of confidence here and knowing your value, knowing your worth, and not settling. So that's always great. This just says whatever you decide, it's going to be a confident decision that aligns with your self-worth, your value, and your confidence, okay? Tell me what actions Leo could be taking this week. 10 of Wands, okay? To me, this is the emotional baggage between the two of you that's been weighing on the relationship. At a minimum, and I say this sometimes within these readings, Leo, it does look like your person's coming towards you with that Page of Cups to initiate some sort of conversation this week about the feelings and what has happened between the two of you. At a minimum, I do think there's going to be an opportunity for the two of you to get closure with that 10 of Wands, okay? And like I said, there could potentially be reconciliation if it moves in that direction. But I do think regardless, there is a sense of like a burden being lifted from your shoulders due to the conversations that the two of you are having this week. Let's see what other actions Leo could be taking. The Temperance card, beautiful. I mean, your energy just feels very stable and balanced. So this to me, the words that I'm getting are you're very level-headed. So if this person is coming towards you to talk to you, I think you're going to be very patient. You're going to be open to hearing what they say. I don't see you like flying off the handle, losing it, like yelling at them or anything. It feels like you're open to hearing what they have to say calmly, with patience, with respect, and then you're going to see what you decide to do. Tell me more about what actions Leo could be taking. The Justice card, yeah. I definitely think you feel that an injustice has been done to you in this situation. And quite honestly, your person knows that. Like, I don't think you're going to have to convince them that they hurt you. You know what I mean? They're well aware of it, Leo. They are coming in. I do think they're trying to make amends. The Justice card to me is kind of that question of like, can we repair this, right? So with this showing up in your actions, it's like, can we bring the situation back into balance? And the interesting thing too is like both the Temperance and the Justice card have elements of balance associated with those cards. And so I think what's happening this week is you're going to be presented with an opportunity to really look at this connection and ask yourself, do I still see a future here? Do I feel things could be brought back into balance or not? And I think that's what you're evaluating. So moment of truth here, Leo. Let's see what the potential outcome is within this situation. Page of Pentacles, okay. This tends to be somebody reaching out. We've already established that your person could be reaching out this week. Tell me more. The World. At a minimum, I do think there is going to be a productive conversation that brings a sense of closure. So what comes next? The Sun. Interesting. That's actually fascinating, Leo. So the Sun card is your energy because it's your ruling planet. It is Leo energy. Like I said, we've got that Leo energy in the rating. So some of you could be dealing with a Leo. But regardless of who you're dealing with, the Sun is like the happiest card within the tarot. And so I do think there's potential here in this connection for the two of you to get back to a happy place, potentially, right? Because it kind of feels like what's going on this week, if we look at the outcome here, they're going to probably reach out with the Page of Pentacles energy. The two of you are going to have a conversation. The World card is a sense of completion and wrapping up a cycle. It feels like the conversation between the two of you has the potential to bring clarity and a sense of closure to whatever's been going on between the two of you. The Sun to me is basically saying like, if you want it, I think there is the potential here for the two of you to be happy again. So it doesn't feel like all hope is lost. And as I always say to you with these readings, whenever there's been challenges, obviously there's going to need to be some sort of repair and rebuilding of the connection, but we can get there, right? Relationships go through tough moments, but this is saying to me, if your person reaches out and do the things they need to do to show you that they can show up for you and be here for you and you feel good about the actions they're taking, I think that this week could potentially see some pretty significant action where it's like at the beginning of this week, it's like maybe you guys are literally not even talking. And then midweek, they kind of reach out, they connect with you. You guys have like a very level-headed conversation. it goes in a good direction and you decide to kind of, forgive, resolve, and find a way to move forward together. I can see the potential for that this week. So if you're in a situation feeling a bit stuck because there's been a breakdown in communication, I do think that there is the potential for some sort of repair or at least a conversation to happen between the two of you this week. And as I always say to you, both of you have free will, both of you get to decide what you want to do. But if both of you are coming together and you decide there's still something worth working on because you see the happiness, this week might help you take some steps in that direction together. So that's what I see for you, Leo. If you enjoyed this reading, you know what to do. Give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And of course, I wish you love, I wish you happiness, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye guys.